Und wir stehen zum dritten und letzten Mal, oder bei euch vielleicht zum 6. Mal, in The Stanley Parable und wollen mal schauen, was es diesmal wird. Wie lange werde ich wohl auf ihn hören?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Ja,
Perhaps
das
he had
entschied
simply
ich.
missed a memo.
Deswegen folge ich jetzt dem Weg, wie er mir befohlen wurde. Zack.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Mache ich jetzt auch mal. Hatte mir vorher beim ersten Mal auch gesagt, vielleicht kommt jetzt noch was anderes hier für mich in Frage.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Ach, guck an,
Feeling a
niemand
wave
da.
of
Ich bin überrascht.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
Complete today's,
hoping he might find an
finished
answer
agenda
there.
items, write next days agenda, reflect. Schön. Auf jeden Fall sehr effizient, wie die arbeiten. Move my desk. Get quest out of the broom closet. Papers are too synergized. Oh, der Paper Guy. Was ist hier los? The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Hier möchte ich noch ein bisschen länger bleiben. Meeting room floor. Meeting shell. Marketing Mondays. Termination Tuesdays. Web work Wednesdays. Mergers. Franking floors meeting. Weekly review. Sehr, sehr spannend, ja. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Oh, guck mal, Franz, der Franz, wir müssen einen auf ihn trinken. Aber jetzt sagt er ja gar nichts, dass ich mich hier gar nicht weiter bewege. Ich dachte, ich werde hier für jeden ungehorsam. What do people want? Things, money, more money. Things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. Schön. Ah, toll. Das gefällt mir. So, dann wollen wir mal weiter. War auch wieder schön. Wo geht's hier hin? Wir gehen jetzt nicht in diesen Raum rein. Wir gehen jetzt
Coming
hier
to a
runter.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Nein,
office.
I walk downstairs. Ich bin mutig.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Kann ich
He
das
might
Auto
be
nehmen?
fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Ja.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Ja, genau
All
das.
of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a
Nein.
single moment for no reason at all.
Nein.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Oh,
For
ist das
example,
mies.
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Was
And
ist
for
hier
that
los?
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Ja.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Ja, genau, ich
Yeah.
träume.
This is all a dream.
Yep.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer.
Das
An
heißt, ich muss mir nur
explanation.
Schmerz zufügen.
His co-workers weren't actually
Schmerz.
gone. He wasn't going to
Schmerz.
lose his job. He
Schmerz.
wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Also das war jetzt
So,
echt mies.
he imagined
Das ist
himself
echt
flying
böse.
and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring
Oh,
through
nein.
space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and
Oh.
Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And
Wahnsinn.
then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice
Jetzt
in
war
my
das schon wieder.
head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Ja, vor allem alles
Now the voice was
kommentieren.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley
Wenn ich
simply
jetzt hier,
deceiving
das wäre
himself?
schön, wenn ich jetzt hier so
Believing
dieses
that if he's
Autolaufen
asleep, he
einstellen
doesn't have to
könnte,
take
dann
responsibility
müsste ich
for
die
himself.
Taste nicht die ganze Zeit drücken. Ich kann es
Stanley
einfach
is as
genießen.
awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Ja.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment
jetzt geht er wieder
ago?
ab.
How else would the voice explain all that?
Oh.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Was will er?
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Boah.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Das ist ein ganz schöner
I
Psychoflash, den sie hier so
am
draufhauen.
okay.
I am okay. Und ich wache auf und stehe immer noch in dem Raum. Schock. 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 Lass
Stanley began
mich
screaming.
hier raus.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
Whoa.
I must be real. I must
Whoa.
be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Ups. Erbarme dich meiner.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Was?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way,
Das ist ja ein
this man
Spiel,
made her
Wahnsinn.
feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Ich bin mal gespannt, was bei Tobi da rausgekommen ist.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
So viel Verschiedenes kann man da eigentlich gar nicht machen, so, oder? Hat's den Verrückten zerlegt. Waren wir verrückt jetzt gewesen, ja. Und wenn ich auch immer nur sinnlos im Kreis laufe, würde ich auch verrückt werden. Ja, Mensch, das war The Stanley Parable. 6 Folgen. Guppi und ich uns abgewechselt. Ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, wenn wir es dann rausgebracht haben, bin ich gespannt, was der Guppi da gespielt hat. Er ist auch schon genauso gespannt, was ich gespielt habe. Auch wenn ich hier ehrlich gesagt immer noch ein bisschen ratlos bin, was das hier eigentlich alles war. War es sehr cool gemacht, auf jeden Fall. Hat mir gefallen. Schnieke Idee. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Let's Play. Bis dahin, habt gute Träume und seid euch immer bewusst, was ihr für Entscheidungen trefft. Weisheit zum Sonntag. Bis dann.